Aloha and welcome to Showcase Hawaii, Hawaii's only home shopping show. I'm Wayne Nunez.
I'm Lori Nunez.
We have a great show for you.
We get so many requests for a classic pearl.
Tons.
Something that you can wear or give that's going to be something someone loves to wear all the time.
You could dress it up or down.
Right.
So yes, you can wear it all the time. And we know you love your pearls to match. So we're offering this in gold-plated over sterling silver or sterling silver. So what you see on the screen right now is the gold-plated. And look at that solitaire CZ in the middle.
I really like
pretty.
that. It's the perfect size that it just complements the pearl. And this is a freshwater pearl.
It is.
And it's a very nice size. It's 8 millimeter.
Yeah, it's about 8 millimeter.
Right.
And if you haven't been watching, which you should be watching, a couple shows back we featured a hoop earring. This would go really good with that pearl hoop earring.
Right. That's the other thing. We always get people saying, well, I bought these earrings and I want a pendant to match, or I got the pendant and I want the earrings. But we always talk about creating and curating a collection. And that's also a great way to give gifts, because you buy one and then you start gifting other pieces of jewelry that are going to be able to coordinate, complement, or together, or alone.
And speaking of which, we have a buy two special.
Okay, that's always great.
Made me do that because you said, well, somebody might want to buy a gold one and a silver one.
Right.
So let's give them a deal, and it's a deal.
Well, we have a lot of customers who like to dress up. And again, you can see the size. We always like to do this against the ruler.
It's about a half an inch.
Right. And then, it's just that perfect size, I think, to wear with everything. And as far as the buy two special, it's because sometimes people are on the phone with us saying, I can't decide.
Well,
I don't know which one.
It is a hard decision because they're most,
right.
I mean, most people love one or the other, but
Right.
when they see it side by side on the screen, they think, oh, maybe I should get, both.
Well,
or maybe they know somebody that
Right.
likes the silver one and they want to match.
Right.
So,
well, if you're someone that only wears a certain, like just gold or just silver,
well, you need to get over that.
I really,
if you're that somebody, you need to get over it.
Yeah, I really want to encourage you to try.
Yes. Get out of your comfort zone.
Try it with different color outfits. Try it, where you just have your open neckline against your skin. You're going to see that each one complements you in a different way.
And they do I think they give off a different energy.
Yeah.
The gold gives off a certain energy, the silver gives off a certain energy, and when you're wearing it, you can really feel it. But you can see on the screen, we try and show you how it's hanging or how it will hang and the movement. So the pendant goes through that solitaire setting, and that setting has a puka behind it to let light in, and you can really see the different facets of the cubic zirconia solitaire stone there. It's very beautiful. It's complemented with that 8 millimeter freshwater white pearl, and we just can't say enough about this. This is going to be super popular.
Well, it's amazing the detail, like you said, on the back side of the CZ, the cubic zirconia. There is that puka, which lets in that light and just helps to add to that sparkle, just the brilliance that you see normally in a diamond. But I'm telling you, they've improved so much. These cubic zirconias are very advanced to where
you can't even tell.
You can't even tell, which makes me
real.
wonder, why spend if you can get something affordable that looks just like the real thing.
And nobody's going to ask you.
Or they shouldn't.
Well, nobody is going to.
And you can answer however you want.
Yes. Nobody's going to go up and ask you, is that real or not? And just
It is real.
Say
it's a real cubic zirconia
now,
stone.
That's true. This is a shot of the front and the back. So it's a nice solid piece of sterling silver that is the setting.
Right.
And then you can see it's stamped 9.25, which you want.
And it is adjustable. You can see
That's
the
right.
links on the chain. So the clasp, you can clasp it wherever you want, wherever, sometimes like if you're wearing a turtleneck, maybe you want it to be a little longer. If you're wearing an open or a V-neck or scoop neck, maybe you want it a little higher. And also we have people saying, well, I'm going to buy it for someone who's a little younger or someone who's a little more petite, and so they might want the chain to be shorter. This is where the adjustable really works great, because you're not quite sure where they would want to wear it, or it gives them the option for different looks.
I also want to point out, try it a little shorter, try it a little longer, try it in the middle, because when you do that, it gives the piece a whole different feeling, like it's a new piece, because the look is so different between having it high or having it low, and you want to, have fun with it and test it out. But this is, we were talking earlier, a classic piece, not only because it's paired with the solitaire and the pearl, but that simplicity, that modern look of it. You're going to have to decide, or maybe not, between the gold-plated and the silver, because the buy two special is a great deal.
Right.
I also want to point out we give a gift box, and so we'll individually gift box these.
Right, and so many people say that saves them time, of course, and money, but it just makes it easy, especially for those of you who are calling us last minute. I have an event this weekend, or I have people arriving tomorrow.
Yes, we had somebody the other day that called and said, I have, and I think they were kind of, fishing around to see if it was possible, which is fine. If it's possible, we'll do it. But it was a Sunday, the next day was a holiday, and they're going, they're saying, I have friends that are arriving tomorrow. And I thought, during the holiday? And then she was saying, I'm just wondering if I could get it by tomorrow. And I said, oh, it's a Sunday and tomorrow's a holiday. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But we do have a lot of people calling, on Thursday or Friday saying, I have something on the weekend. So,
and that's doable a lot of times.
Oh, don't encourage that. Sometimes, depending when you call and when the post office picks up, if all the stars align, we can sometimes get it to you faster.
But it's funny because a lot of people say, you know what? I need this for Christmas, so don't even worry about it.
A lot of people are like 2 weeks, that's fine. We do ask that you allow 1 week for delivery, but again, sometimes just depending on when we're packaging, when the orders are going out, sometimes people will get it really fast, but then they come to expect that, so we always just try to ask you, because it just depends how many orders are going out. But anyway, it's great, right? It's free shipping. So I think that's always a great bonus.
It is a big bonus to have free shipping, because nothing is free anymore. I don't know if anything was ever free, but we do offer free shipping. We've been offering free shipping for 16 years, and believe it or not, we're going in our 17th year. If you haven't ordered, which always surprises me, because every single time we have a show and somebody calls in, there's at least 1 or 2 people that have said, I've been watching you for years, but I've never ordered. And the process is super easy. You could either log on to www.showcasehawaii.tv, or let's say you don't want to log on. We had a customer the other day that couldn't see very well, and they said that I have a hard time. Could you walk me through the process over the phone, or can I order it over the phone? And if that's the case, give us a call at 888-965-7467.
Or 808-892-3337. We just want to make it easy for you.
We do want to make
fun.
it easy. Yes, and fun. I think, it's going to be more fun if you get me on the phone as opposed to any other employee or Lori. It's going to be me. It looks a little crowded on the set
because it's raining umbrellas.
Yeah, exactly. But we, number one, need to feature our new umbrellas that we are bringing out. We're showcasing.
Right.
And these are our Monstera Hawaiian quilt print umbrellas in 2 new colors.
Yes.
We still have some of the purple and some of the yellow in the pineapple.
Right. But
In
it's
fact,
going
we have
fast.
them here.
Right.
And I just want to say, you love these. I'm not telling you that you love them, but you really love them because you're ordering
Yes.
a lot and you're
Yes.
sending them locally. You're sending them to the mainland. I have to point out, if you do decide to send it to the mainland, there is a $5 charge. Minimal charge to the mainland per umbrella.
Each umbrella.
Yes, so we want to point that. But locally, we cover the
Right.
shipping. It's just because these are a little
Well, the
heavy.
other great thing is a lot of you are purchasing a lot of umbrellas and then taking it with you on your travels.
Right.
So it's great because these are smaller,
Right.
more compact,
Yes.
easy to put into your carry-on or your check-in bags, and just a very useful gift and beautiful gift. And the Monstera is a very, very popular design. So I know you're gonna love it. These are gonna go very quickly and great colors, I think.
And I also want to point out, these are different
Right.
than the ones, if you're watching for the first time, we featured the longer ones that didn't fold. These are different. Now I'm gonna try something, and hopefully I'm not gonna
Knock
wipe
us
out
out.
the mic or anything else, but I want to show you. There's a little button right on the base of the handle, and let me see if I could do this.
Aim it.
I don't want to
Don't
take out
aim it at the
either one of
microphone.
our eyes. Look at that. Look at that. And the cool thing is it pops right up, but I want to show you something else. Let's say you get in your car and it's pouring.
Yes.
You know how it pours.
And you have to squeeze in
Yeah.
between the door and get as far into the car as you can without getting wet.
And Lori's saying, close the door because it's getting rain
Well, and
in
then,
the car.
as you're trying to pull it down, you're just getting soaked with rain. So
Right.
it's kind of like, forget it already.
So in a normal umbrella, you have to keep the car door open and then collapse the umbrella and then bring it in. Not our new umbrellas, not our new folding collapsible umbrellas. They expand when
I'm
you
gonna
push the
move.
button, and they, watch, I'm gonna push the button again. They
Wow,
collapse.
that's like magic.
So you just, there's a flat piece on the top, you just push it down.
I didn't know that this was the feature you had created until you showed it to me.
And it kind of took her.
No, it was
aback.
great.
She was like,
It was
wow.
wow. It was a wow,
Yes.
and we include instructions, but of course not everybody reads it, so we want to show
I'm one of
show
those
you.
people that didn't read it, actually.
I wanted Wayne to show you,
Right.
because it really does make a difference.
It does.
And it makes it easier. Some of you have tried that where you're struggling to push it open or struggling to pull it closed. This just makes it easier. And every time we create something, we're always trying to bring some joy into your life or make things easier for you, whether it's giving a gift to someone or treating yourself to something. You want it to bring some joy.
You do. And this is kind of a simple pleasure.
Yes.
That's what I say. It's, number one, it's affordable, but it brightens your day on a rainy, cloudy day.
Right.
And then on a sunny day, because it has SPF 30, it will brighten your day too.
Well,
and it will protect you at the same
and
time.
if you are traveling, you know what it's like. You get to your destination, and if it's raining, now you have to go out and buy an umbrella. And a lot of times, depending on the size of the umbrella, you're not going to be able to bring it home with you, so you leave it in your hotel room or wherever, right? With whoever you're visiting. But, it's nice if you can bring a little bit of Aloha with you.
Yes, exactly.
And you can use it wherever you are. You could gift it to someone and leave it there if you wanted to, but it's a gift of Aloha. I mean, it's Hawaiian quilt print umbrellas. Or you can bring it back home and continue to use it.
What I loved is when we brought it on our travels with us, people were kind of pointing. Maybe they were pointing at me. Maybe I had something in my teeth. So they were pointing and they were smiling and looking. Now, the great thing about these umbrellas, not only is the SPF 30, as I said earlier, we have fiberglass ribs on these, so they're very, very flexible. The other thing is there is a vent
that was
right
a very,
at the top.
very smart design.
Well, the vent is there so that the wind passes through on a windy day, and it doesn't.
It helps it from not
taking
blowing,
you with it.
Well, you know how it will blow the opposite direction.
Flip inside out.
And it will flip inside out. So this helps prevent that from happening.
Yeah, so that extra layer at the top, and we designed it so it integrates right within the design. That extra layer allows the wind to pass through, and it won't turn your umbrella inside out. The other thing is it has a 45-inch canopy. The canopy is huge. A lot of smaller foldable umbrellas are either a 24-inch, which is very small, and they're very flimsy,
well,
or
the thing
a
about
36-inch.
Is your shoulders end up getting wet.
Right, or your partner gets
but,
wet.
I mean, if there's two of you under the umbrella, but even if you have a small umbrella and it's just one person, sometimes because of the way you're trying to, you know, fight the wind or put it in the direction of the rain, then your shoulders are getting soaking wet, and that's when you can get a chill and get cold.
Well, the other thing is, you know, Lori will be pristinely dry, and then I will be dry on one side of me, and then wet on the other. So this is big enough to where if we both want to be under the canopy, we could be under the canopy, and we're not going to get wet.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. But that nice long spread is perfect because, again, if you don't want to get wet, you won't get wet. But if you don't want the sun, you don't get the sun.
Well, on that note, when you think about it, usually here it's not so cold, you know, it's still a little warmer when it's raining. But if you think about on the mainland, it can be very cold and cold rain, and so you don't want to get wet and get that chill or get cold. You even sometimes you could cover your shoulders, but then it's hitting the rest of you and getting you drenched in rain.
Lori is big on not getting chilled on her shoulders.
It's true.
Because
how many of you out there believe that?
That's if she gets chilled on her shoulders, it took her like a year to find pajamas that came to a right length and covered her neck and her shoulders and her arms. I'm telling you, it took a long, long time. And then
I know I should design my own.
When she couldn't find them and she got sick, or she'd get a cold, a chill, she blamed it on the fact that, oh, my neck is cold. Oh, my shoulders are cold.
It's true, though. I bet all of you are sitting out there going, that's right. That's true.
Wear a scarf.
Because if you get, you know, chilled. So anyway, the point is we thought about all of these things to make sure that you're comfortable, you stay dry, and don't forget these have SPF protection as well, 30. So a lot of you love walking during the day in the sun. Even sometimes we'll go out on our walk when it's coming towards evening, but the sun is still out.
And late
afternoon, I guess.
I also want to point out these are waterproof. Some people ask us that question. Are they waterproof?
Because they've told us that they've had umbrellas that got soaking wet. Which that makes no sense to me. But where it wouldn't repel the water, and then
it drips through.
It drips through, it gets heavy, they get wet, you know, all that. So definitely this repels the water. It has a Velcro closure, and as Wayne's showing you, it comes with
this
own
handy dandy cover, which when you get it, it's going to have the cover on that, and it's going to look in like this nice, neat package.
Did you explain about the handle yet? I'm not sure.
No, the handle I want to point out, and hopefully we'll have an image up there coming up soon.
Oh, and you can see the demo of that.
The collapsibility.
And there's
the vent.
The vent and the ribs.
Yeah, so it's a double piece of fabric. So, and then as I was saying, and as Lori just pointed out, the ribs, the fiberglass ribs make a huge difference because you want it to flex. You don't want it to be so stiff. And sometimes when you're walking, sometimes you might run into somebody.
Right.
And you don't want it to be so hard that it doesn't give when you run into them.
Right.
So that's what I like about it. But you can see it does collapse down very, very nicely. It comes with that bag, which sometimes I use, sometimes I don't. But the bag is very useful.
Nice to have.
It's similar to, you know, when you go into a store and they have those plastic bags
For
to keep the water
from dripping all
exactly.
over the floor.
So that's why I like to use the bags. I like to collapse it, put it
That's
in
a
the
good
bag,
idea.
and then it won't drip. The ends also have these nice little metal balls. And again, that button to expand it is just an easy one push button.
Yeah.
You just push the button, it expands to that 45-inch canopy, and you're able to go about your way. There's also a little strap.
Looking for Hawaii-inspired items at affordable prices? Watch Showcase Hawaii at 6:30 a.m., 3 p.m., and 12:30 a.m. every day on Spectrum Channel 1016. Everyone needs the perfect hoop earring.
Well, you know, we feature hoop earrings all the time, and we feature different sizes, but I think this is one of the larger hoop earrings that we've featured.
Right.
And we try and, if you notice, if you've been watching lately, we try and bring back the more populars because a lot of times we get questions like, oh, I saw this on the last show, and I was wondering if you're having a special.
Right.
This is one of those items that's going to be coming back a lot because I think people really love pearls, and I think the contrast between the pearl and the silver, and then you add the hoop.
Right. Well, it's a classic. I mean, everybody loves and wants that perfect hoop. So there's a lot of features when you look at this earring. So first off, starting from the top, I love having the ease and simplicity of the hook. You just slip it through your pierced ear.
And let's not forget, it's 0.925 sterling silver.
Right.
So if you're putting that hook through your pierced ear,
Right.
you want it to be a precious metal, which this is.
So there's no sensitivity, no issues there. And then I like that, and this is really important to me at least, is to have that movement in the earring so that when you move, it moves. And that's very attractive. You know, I always talk about when you're talking to someone and they notice because that hoop is moving. So you can see that it will move through the hook area.
Now, what Lori is talking about is the hook is actually independently attached to the hoop itself.
Right.
So it's not one piece.
Right.
So that's where you're going to get that movement that she's talking about when she's telling me to go dump the garbage or rake the leaves on the lawn, and she's cracking the whip to cook her something for dinner. That's what she's talking about.
The earring's gonna move when
The
I'm
earring's
yelling.
gonna move. Yes,
You're
it's
so
gonna.
funny. I was like, "What are you talking
The
about?"
earring.
Okay.
It's funny because the earring is like an exclamation point when you're talking, so it's perfect.
Okay, and let's look at the dimensions.
So the dimensions are, it's about from the top, about 2.5 inches
To the bottom of the pearl.
To the bottom of the pearl, but the diameter of the circle itself is about 1.5 inch. Now you have your choice between the black pearl or the white pearl, which you see on screen.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
And you know, at this great price, and we always try and price it really well. And
well,
don't
this
forget,
is a really good price.
Don't forget you get free shipping. Yeah, so for this quality and being 0.925 sterling silver, it's an amazing price. So I know many of you are going to want to just get the white and the black pearl, which I think is a good idea because then you'll have it to match everything in your wardrobe.
Well, it's interesting. Pearls have gone up. Natural pearls are untouchable. Natural pearls are like museum pieces now. Almost like 14 karat gold. It's just getting outrageous.
But this is a freshwater pearl, and it's a good size, approximately 8 millimeter. Of course, you know each pearl is going to be slightly different. But that's what people love. They love having that uniqueness and seeing that it is a beautiful pearl. You can see again that the pearl at the bottom can slide along that hoop. So again, you're going to have that movement.
Yeah, you're going to have another independent point of movement with the pearl.
Mm-hmm.
As Lori said, it slides along the hoop, which you have the hook itself attached to the hoop, and then the pearl attached to the hoop. So there's 2 points of movement that it's as far as the design goes.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to point out the freshwater pearls and the silver has also been quite expensive.
Yes,
so
everything's going up.
for us to have a pair of earrings, yes, you get 2, 1 for each ear. So if you're seeing this special, grab it because I don't know how long this will last.
Well, I also want to say that, you know, we've continued to offer free shipping, and there is another postage increase.
Yes.
And so everything keeps going up, and we're doing our best. We appreciate all of you, and all of you are writing, sending text messages, emails, even calling us to say thank you for keeping everything so affordable. And we know, I mean, Hawaii people love giving gifts, and so we also want to continue trying to keep it affordable, offering you that free shipping anywhere on the U.S. mainland, and of course anywhere in Hawaii. And if you're watching from somewhere other than Hawaii, then you know that it will be free shipping to you. You can also send it as a gift. It's funny, we have a lot of customers on the mainland who will order and send a gift to someone locally.
Yes,
so, you know,
we have that all
family,
the time.
Right?
Yes.
And they're just thinking, oh, I know you're going to love something from Showcase Hawaii. And of course, a lot of people ordering for themselves or to give us gifts on the mainland as well. Always exciting for us. And of course, we've been getting a lot of international orders as well.
All around the world. If you notice our big mahalos or our mahalos at the bottom of the screen, you can see people are ordering from all around, and we really love that. But we're, as Lori said, we're trying to keep that free shipping for as long as we can because shipping prices keep going up and up, but we keep having these great deals on all of our products, which we're happy to do for you. Well, we hope you were able to get in on one of these great deals today.
The ordering process is so fast and so easy, so log on to showcasehawaii.tv.
Thanks for watching.
Bye for now.